This is the new Boya Mini 2 mic, and it's by far the tiniest wireless mic I've ever used. The entire kit is about the size of an AirPods case and starts at $30 for the single transmitter version. Each transmitter weighs only 5 grams. The total battery life is about 30 hours. It has a signal range of up to 100 meters, supports AI noise cancellation up to -40 dB, and works with almost any device that has a USB-C or Lightning port. However, before I start, I do want to mention that this video is fully sponsored by Boya. With that said, here is what you get in the box. You get a soft carrying case, a USB-A to USB-C charging cable, an AirPods style charging case with a USB-C port, 2 tiny transmitters with mini pop filters, and either a USB-C receiver, a Lightning receiver, or both depending on the option you choose. Boya also offers 2 different colors for the entire kit, either a simple matte black finish or the new lunar silver finish. Now, in terms of overall build quality, the entire system is pretty much made of plastic, including the case, the transmitters, and also the receiver. But definitely what makes this system very special is the overall size. As you can see, I have here the AirPods Pro Gen 1. As you can see, the Boya Mini 2 mic is about the same size, maybe slightly bigger, but it's more or less the same as the AirPods Pro in here, which means basically this is by far the tiniest wireless microphone system I've ever seen, and it has so many benefits because you're not going to hesitate twice whether to take something like this with you or not, because it's so tiny and lightweight. Let me actually take out the transmitter here. And as you can see, the transmitter itself is super tiny, about the size of my fingernail in here. Here is how it compares to an AirPod. It's actually slightly smaller. And now here is the weight. It's 5.3 grams for one transmitter. Here is the AirPods Pro, 5.4 grams, pretty much the same weight. And now here is the weight for the entire kit, 44.2 grams. And just for comparison, here is the weight for the AirPods Pro Gen 1. But now, even though the system is very compact and lightweight, I feel like the battery life is still somewhat respectable. You get 6 hours per transmitter, and then if you consider also the charging case, in total you will get 30 hours, which is great in my opinion, considering again the size and weight of this wireless microphone system. All right, and now I just want to show you how easy it is to actually use this wireless microphone system. So basically you open the case, take out the receiver, plug it into your device. In my case, it's the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And then you take the transmitter or transmitters, and everything is going to automatically pair for you. As you can see, there is like a blue LED light turned on, which means everything is successfully paired, and now you can basically record your videos and get high quality audio at the same time. And now in terms of mounting the actual transmitter to yourself or to your talent, here on the back you have like a clip, and then you can take the transmitter and basically clip it on yourself or your talent, and then use it as like a lapel microphone, if you will. But also the clip here is made of metal, which means that you can take like a little magnet. Unfortunately, this system does not come with a magnet, but if you have a spare magnet, you can put it beneath your shirt and basically use it this way, where the transmitter is going to be magnetically attached to your t-shirt. Now also, if you are a bit more technical and you want to customize the audio, you have an application from Boya called the Boya Central app, which you can then connect to your Boya Mini 2 mic to. Wait a little bit, and then it's going to show up in here, and then you can go inside and customize a couple of settings. So first of all, you can adjust the audio gain in here from 1 to 6 to dial in the exact audio level you want. And then here you can also enable or disable the noise cancellation. And also you have 2 presets of noise cancellation to choose from. You have the weak noise cancellation, which is going to be a bit better if you want to maintain better audio quality while still removing some of the background noises. And you also have the strong preset, which is going to be slightly worse when it comes to preserving the audio quality, but it's going to be the absolute best when it comes to reducing background noises and whatnot. All right, now I have music here in the background from Artlist, just to emulate a situation where you're going to be recording in a fairly loud environment. And as you can hear, it's probably very distracting compared to my voice. So now I'm going to enable the noise cancellation weak preset to let you hear what kind of a difference it makes. So I'm just going to press the button here. And now the noise cancellation is enabled. Again, this is the weak noise cancellation preset, which is going to be slightly better at retaining my, the audio quality of my voice, but it's not going to be the best when it comes to actually dealing with the music here in the background. And now I am back again to not using any noise cancellation, just to, reset the sound. As you can hear, the music is still going on in the background. But let me now enable the strong preset to let you hear how it actually deals with this kind of distracting music in the background. So now it's turned on, the strong noise cancellation preset, and hopefully it makes like a significant difference compared to the weak preset. As you can probably hear, my voice maybe is not going to be as clear as before, but the music in the background is not as distracting as before at the same time. All right, next here you can choose the recording mode from like mono or stereo. Then also you have here a new feature with the Mini 2 microphone. It's called Safety Track, and it's basically going to give you one channel with like a loud gain and then a second channel with a slightly lower gain, just to preserve the audio in case if you clipped the audio on the first channel. So basically it's going to act like a backup to your main audio on the main channel. Then here also you can mute the transmitter if you want to. Here you can choose an EQ preset. You have a couple to choose from: original, vocal boost, low cut 75 Hz, low cut 150 Hz, and then costume EQ if you want to go in here and basically dial it in exactly how you want to. I feel like it's a bit too advanced, but you still have the option if you want to tinker with the equalization in here. Just for a comparison, here is how the original EQ preset sounds like. Testing, 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 1, 2, 3, testing. Now here is how the vocal boost EQ preset sounds like, which is the one I've been using throughout the video. It's going to basically enhance the sound of your voice. Now here is how low cut 75 Hz sounds like. This preset is going to work the best to eliminate low volume humming noises from like an air conditioner, refrigerator, or something like that. Hopefully it helps with the air conditioner in my room. Testing, 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 1, 2, 3, test. And finally, here is how the low cut 150 Hz sounds like, which is going to be slightly more aggressive than the 75 Hz option. Testing, 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 1, 2, 3, test. Testing, 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 1, 2, 3, test. All right, now I'm back to the vocal boost preset because I feel like this is the best one to use, at least with my voice. And then moving on inside the application, here you have like a transmitter indicator option to turn off and turn on. It's basically going to turn off and on the LED lights in here. If you're going to turn it off, the LED light is going to be off. If you're going to turn it on, it's going to turn on the LED light. And then you have TX auto off, which means that after like 10 minutes of not using the receiver or transmitters, if it's not going to be plugged basically into anything, it's going to automatically turn off for you and preserve the battery life. And finally, you have here like a speaker option, which I believe is for being able to preview your video with audio while having the receiver plugged into your device. All right, so in terms of like signal strength, according to Boya, this microphone should be good up to like 100 meters, but that has to be in like perfect conditions with no Wi-Fi interference, and you have to be in clear line of sight with the receiver basically. But honestly, I feel like if it's going to be good enough up to like 30 meters, it's going to be okay for like 99% of creators, because honestly, I've been doing videos for so long, I haven't had a case where I had to be like further than 30, 25 meters away from my camera. But regardless, let's do a test and see how it holds up. So now I'm about 10 meters away from the camera, I would say, give or take. And also I am filming in a fairly quiet environment with probably no Wi-Fi interference. There are some houses here on the left which probably have some minor interference, but it's nothing major in my opinion. Regardless, I'm gonna keep going back. Now I'm about 20, I would say, meters away from the camera. And if it works from this distance, honestly, like I said, it's going to be good enough for like majority of like YouTube creators, TikTokers, Instagram creators and whatnot. So let's keep going back and see when it loses connection. Now I am about 30 meters away from the camera, testing the signal strength of the Boya Mini 2 microphone. And now I'm about 40 meters away from the camera, give or take. Testing the Boya Mini 2 microphone. Also, there's like a bit of wind in here, So let's hear how the pop filter here, protects the microphone from like windy conditions. And then now I'm about, I would say, a good 50 meters away from the camera, and hopefully the signal is strong enough to be able to, get the audio from this kind of a distance. And if it does, that's actually pretty impressive for such a compact wireless microphone system. But let's keep going back. And I would say somewhere around here is 60 meters. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. Test, 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 test. This is about, I would say, good 70 meters. Okay, testing, 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 testing the strength, the signal strength of the Boya Mini 2 microphone. And now I'm about 80 meters away, give or take. Okay, testing, 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 testing. And then here it's about 90 meters, maybe even actually slightly more, I would say. I'm not really sure. And then I would say here, this is more or less 100 meters. If it works from this kind of a distance, even though I'm filming in a very quiet environment, it's actually kind of impressive, again, for such a compact wireless microphone system. All right, and now let's do a vlogging test in the real world, basically, when shooting with my iPhone. So I just want to let you hear how the audio quality sounds like from the Boya Mini 2 microphone when recording, in the streets, basically doing vlogs and whatnot. So I'm in a pretty busy street with lots of traffic and noises and whatnot. So it should give you like a general idea on how the audio quality sounds like, on the Boya Mini 2 when using it for vlogging with like a smartphone and whatnot. And now, just for comparison, here is how the built-in microphone on the iPhone 16 Pro Max sounds like. So hopefully the Boya Mini 2 works much better in this kind of environment. I think it will, because the audio source, the microphone is much closer to me, and usually when you have the microphone closer to the audio source, you are going to get much better audio quality. So testing the audio quality of the built-in microphone on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. All right, and now here is another audio quality test for you with the Boya Mini Mic 2, but this time I'm using the DJI Pocket 3. I've plugged the receiver directly to the camera, and yeah, this is how the Boya Mini Mic 2 sounds like on the DJI Pocket 3. However, I do want to mention something. I've tried using this microphone with the DJI Osmo 360 and also Action 5 Pro, but it wasn't working properly for whatever reason. On the Osmo 360, I had like a delay issue, and on the Action 5 Pro, the camera did not recognize the microphone at all. So it only works, at least from my DJI cameras, with the Osmo Pocket 3. And now, just for comparison, here is how the DJI Pocket 3 sounds like with the built-in microphone without using the Boya Mini 2 microphone. Again, because the camera is significantly further away from me, I think the audio quality is going to be significantly worse than what I was able to get with the Boya Mini 2 microphone. All right, and finally, I want to do a test with my computer, with my MacBook Pro. So right now I'm filming with OBS. I'm using OBS, and the audio is from the Boya Mini Mic 2, which should deliver much better audio quality than something like the built-in microphone on my laptops. If you're doing like Zoom calls or anything similar, this might be very beneficial for you. So let me just disable, this microphone and switch to the built-in microphone so you can hear the audio difference. And now I'm using the built-in microphone on the MacBook Pro, which honestly is not the worst microphone. It's a great microphone because it is significantly further away from me than the Boya Mini 2. You're going to get, the audio quality is not going to be as good because, again, if you want to keep the best audio quality possible, you should keep the the microphone basically as close as possible to the audio source. All right, so to summarize, I feel like this microphone system is fantastic. I'm not really sure about the price of this system. Boya has not told me the pricing of the system yet, but I feel like it's going to be, fairly priced. It's going to be budget pricing. And if you are like an amateur creator, or you're just starting out with like creating videos and you want to improve the audio quality from like filming with your phone, action camera that supports USB audio, maybe you're doing like Zoom calls on your computer and whatnot, this is definitely a great system to start with. It's not going to be, as good as something like the DJI Mic 2, Mic 3, Rode Wireless Pro or whatnot in terms of like overall audio quality, but I feel like the audio quality is decent. It's not too bad. It is very compact and lightweight, very simple to use. You get some settings to tinker with inside the Boya Central app, and overall, if you're a beginner, this is probably one of the best systems to get into if you want to keep everything as compact as possible. Again, it's pretty much the same size as the AirPods case, so basically, if you get something like this, there will be no excuses not to take it with you and get better audio quality. Regardless, I'm going to leave links for this system down below for you to check out. Thank you, Boya, for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.